Hello, I wanted to put up a quick video to talk about targeted individuals. I wanted to share with y'all that, I've had a position now, I've had a job for 6 months. It has been quite a challenge to maintain that position. I have been under extreme duress, assault, and attack as a targeted individual. And I think really the reason for that, I mean, it's always been, okay, since I finally, realized, what actually was really truly going on with me, right? But they really want to make sure that we, as targeted individuals, do not have any credibility whatsoever. I've said in the past, and many others have said as well, they want us isolated, homeless, in an insane asylum, suicidal, and or commit suicide, just the worst of the worst, right? That's part of the program, actually. How far can you push a person? How far can you, manipulate their minds, and not only that, but how far can you manipulate them in the physical, in terms of ailments and their heart and things of that nature, right? That's with this electromagnetic frequency, microwave frequency, radiation, and all that stuff it can do to a person. It brings on both physical ailments, as well as mental trauma. And so a while back here, I was being very, very heavily targeted with both voice to skull, as well as the helicopter flyovers. And so when I wanted to share about that, I am in an apartment complex where I'm, in the middle apartment, so there's someone below, someone above. I'm in the back, so I'm not facing the parking lot. And in the back here, there are very tall trees, right? So what are the odds that helicopters would just think that this is an ideal place to go by? 3 military helicopters, several police helicopters, police helicopter coming right above me as I'm getting out of my car on a Friday evening. And then at this time as well, I'm having the extreme assault on my mind, in terms of the voice to skull. And so I believe that what they were doing, well, I know what they were doing, but the ultimate goal, I believe, is to get me, to quit my job, to have me in such a state of fear and disillusion, that I, I don't go outside my front door, that, I'm just petrified. So they do the stalking with the helicopters, along with the electromagnetic frequencies, charges that they're putting in my brain, and then also the other ailments that go along with it, in terms of the microwave radiation and the trauma on my body, because they want to make sure that targeted individuals have absolutely no credibility whatsoever. So in other words, and I'm not saying, okay, at all, that those people that do not have jobs don't have credibility, okay? It's a miracle that I got a job. I went for years, okay, not being able to find anything. And when I would find something, they would fire me the very next day. That happened, okay? I mean, I didn't even have a chance to fill out, my I-9, okay? But really, so it was bizarre, right? And then the only job that I was ever able to get out of all that time was a job at the Family Dollar, okay, working 20 hours a week. And So the fact that I even got a job is a miracle in and of itself, and that I've been able to maintain that job for 6 months now is another miracle in and of itself. And so that's why, a couple months back, they were, really trying to sabotage me, and they were, coming against me in just so many different ways. Also, even the police, okay, there was just a much higher police presence. Wherever my eyes seemed to roam, there was a police officer. In fact, there was one time when the police officer was looking right at me and giving me the devil horn signs. Okay, so there was something there going on. They were trying to do anything they possibly could to frighten me to death, and to get me to the point where I'm quitting my job and I'm not going out my front door. And because here's the thing, the fact that I have a job, that I maintain a job, that I get up early in the morning, that I am responsible, and that I have that I have to have, obviously, some sense of intelligence and stability to be able to do this, from day in and day out, that doesn't sit well with them, because they want to be able to call you out on anything and everything in terms of being a credible witness to this program. Okay, so it's a struggle every day, if to be able to do this, and to go to work. And like I said, it's a total miracle, a miracle upon a miracle upon a miracle. Okay, but I just wanted to share the fact that you think about the airspace that we have, right? And how and getting back to the helicopters, out of all the places they have to go, and they choose to go right by my window, right by the tall trees in an apartment building, over and over and over again. There's something very odd about that. I don't think that's just a coincidence. And then I also wanted to share about, I just went to the doctor several weeks back because I'm having trouble sleeping. Imagine that. And I wanted to have something that I could use, from time to time to help me to rest. And I walk out of there. She had, sent in a prescription for me. And I didn't research this medicine before, and she just said, oh, just give this a try. Didn't do any research. I went to the prescription counter, shortly thereafter to pick it up. I guess it was the day after. And I'm reading, I hadn't purchased it yet, but the pharmacist was doing something else, and I had the bottle in my hand. I was getting another prescription as well for me. And so I'm reading the directions of this medication, and it says, she gave me, first of all, a 6-month supply. This medication says to take it every day, okay? And then I'm on my cell phone, looking this medication up, because what she prescribed to me was trazodone. And this was something that was supposed to help me to sleep from time to time, but yet she gave me a 6-month supply of medication that I'm supposed to take every day. So I look up trazodone, and come to find out it's a medication for like bipolar manic depressive disorder. Okay, so instead of putting me on something that I can take, on an as needed basis, to help me to sleep, to help me to rest, she prescribes to me a mind-altering, mood-altering drug that messes with the chemicals in your brain. Okay, so I did not purchase that medicine. I said no, thank you. And I wrote up, they asked, for me to do a survey, and I wrote that up, about, I did not appreciate that. But that's the kind of stuff that these people are doing, that, you go and ask for one thing, and you go out with something else. And if I had purchased that and started taking that, well, just think about, there again, there's my credibility, in terms of just, she's on medicine for bipolar manic depressive disorder. She can't be right, So you just think about the ways, the tactics that these people have, because trust me, everything. I mean, when you're a targeted individual, that, that doctor probably walked out of that office and, did her little thingy on, on the computer, and, the best advice from, the government was, oh, put her on trazodone, or I don't know how it all works, but it's just very bizarre that, you go in for something as very simple, and and you come out, with a prescription being prescribed to you for something that severe, having a, and there are people that, I guess, that really do need that medication, but, and, and who knows, maybe she thought that I did, just, but that's scary stuff. And there again, it's another way to discredit a targeted individual, is to have them, number one, take away any positive thing that they could possibly have, which is a job, and then, make sure that they're on, mind altering, mood altering medications, for the rest of their lives, because that medication, it's like one of those things where you start taking it and you can't get off of it unless you want to go through, the horrid side effects and all this stuff. And anyway, it's just absolutely absurd, and it's just, it's a crime. It's an absolute crime, what these dark forces are doing to us. And I just wanted to share that with y'all, and I hope everyone is, blessed in Jesus.